This year, Liverpool High School's annual musical was Cinderella, a fun and lively show that was perfect for all ages. The lifeguard decided to see what really goes into putting on a musical. We got several interviews from members of the cast, crew, and directors, and a backstage exclusive of what goes on during dress rehearsals.
My name is Cassandra Nally. Nice to meet you.
It makes you wish that the world could be as lovely as it looks.
I played Cinderella, which is really exciting.
Very fun, very fun. So what was the most interesting thing about the musical, or the most challenging?
I think memorizing all the lines was pretty challenging, but it really paid off because it was such like a magical experience, and we got to work with so many amazing people.
So what was it like behind the scenes?
It was stressful at times, kind of overwhelming, but when I got the hang of things and when you really got into the scene, it was a really amazing experience. I felt like I was in a movie.
Oh, that's awesome.
Both Nolly and Alamond had nothing but praise about the directors Harris and Hopkins, as well as the rest of the cast and crew.
I have not worked with Mr. Hopkins before, but it was really fun. He's super amazing and talented and nice, and they're so amazing to work with, and they really make you feel at home.
Were you surprised when you found out you got the lead, as a junior, which is kind of atypical?
Yeah, I was a little surprised. I didn't expect it. I was really hoping, I believe I did well in the auditions, but when I got the role, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't see myself as Cinderella, but I really adapted the role.
Yes, you did a very good job.
Thank you.
So, since you were the lead, are you planning to do anything after high school with theater, or anything in that realm?
I think I want to minor in theater. I want to go to school for music, music education and performance, and I think I want to do vocal and maybe some violin too, which would be fun.
Me, who am I but the guy I am? Hi, I'm Lambro Salomon. I played Prince Topher. I think the most interesting thing was just how well it all came together in the end. I think the rehearsal process was fantastic, but once we got onto the stage, which did take a while, but I think once we got onto the stage and actually got down to costumes, props, and set pieces with the pit, shout out to the pit, I think that it all just came together and became the great show that it was. The most challenging thing I think was probably not having a stage for most of our rehearsal time due to construction and whatnot, but I think once that changed and we got onto the stage, then we were able to do a lot more. Behind the scenes was very fun. There were so many characters in this show that it was just fun to interact with all of them in character backstage, but also just making new friends and being around people.
That sounded so good. I'll take it.
There was this one prop. Her name was Buttercup, and Buttercup was I'll put it in quotes, a horse that I had to ride in the first scene. And Buttercup was an interesting horse. She was oddly built. It was just a platform with a curtain and a rubber horse mask stuffed with cotton. And
yes, it was.
Yeah, so it was definitely interesting to see her built. Yes, and it just was, it was fun and funny to see her, yeah.
What was it like working with both Miss Harris and Mr. Hopkins together?
I love Mr. Hopkins and Miss Harris both. I've worked with Miss Harris for years, and Miss Harris is a phenomenal music director. They're just, some of the best people I know.
The production team starts usually about a year in advance to sort of look at some different shows, look at what options we think we might have, look at who we know we have from a cast standpoint that's usually interested in the show, looking at the kind of facilities that we might have access to, because we were never, you're never quite sure whether things are going to be ready for you or not. And then you narrow it down a bit, you run it through administrators, you talk to a bunch of people, and you try to come up with something that you think is going to be the right fit for the kids that year. And we've been really excited and really proud and happy about how it's coming together. It's been a challenge to start rehearsing in Wetzel, because we were over there for a while, and then rehearsing here but not in the auditorium yet, and then finally in the auditorium. And so it's been a crazy, chaotic kind of an experience, but I think a lot of shows are. And we're just so excited to be able to get back here in the auditorium and get into the space and be able to put a show on stage that we're so very, very proud of the students involved with.
The Broadway version of Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella, however, is updated with socio-economic politics, choosing your own destiny, and everyone has the power inside of them to be able to do something magical and important with their lives, said Harris.
We were looking for a show that was a good classic show, but also had some modern sensitivity to it, and making sure that the characters involved were things that spoke to a modern audience, and to empowering women, and to empowering all of our different communities that way.
It's been a wild journey. We received the music a little behind schedule, but I've assigned numerous additional rehearsal times for the pit to meet, and the students have just been great. They've been putting 110% to come to those rehearsals. Last week we had around 23 hours of just pure rehearsal time, and the students have really they've put in the work, and I can see it, and they're happy with the progress. A lot of the tunes and the themes for each of the characters comes back, and it's repetitive, but the key changes. You'll go from one key where there's no sharps and flats to like 6 flats and then 4 sharps. So that's been a little bit of a learning curve, but the students have really gotten the grasp of going into different tempo changes and different tonalities at a very quick pace, and that's just how it is. And they've really adapted to that. But we really threw it together, and the rehearsals we had were fun, intense, and focused, and it's a really driven group.
Everyone we talked to said that being a part of the musical was a wonderful experience that meant so much to everyone involved, especially after not being able to have a live show since 2019. Harris, Hopkins, and Mr. HF are so incredibly proud of all the hard work that everybody put in, and can't wait to keep using the amazing new auditorium.